If you live in one of the world's major cities, you'd be hard-pushed not to have heard of them. And if they have their way, we'll all know about them in a week or two. Yet Extinction Rebellion is barely a year old. So who are they?
Extinction!
XR, as it's also known, claims its brand of non-violent direct action has its roots in the civil rights and suffragette movements. We're talking green grassroots here. There are no leaders, but we caught up with one of its founder members. Do you think you're taking the rest of society with you? You're asking a lot of any government, you're asking a lot of the citizens of the UK.
Well, the climate disaster that we're heading into is going to take everyone with it. So nobody gets a choice about whether or not they're interested in this issue. It's going to shape the rest of our lives forever. So if we don't manage to bring people with us now, then we all need to come together later on down the line.
So what do they want? XR is clear: to avoid what they describe as a climate emergency, UK carbon emissions must fall to zero by 2025. Does the science back that up?
Most of the world has signed up to this Paris Agreement. We do have to act in a rapid way. So in that sense, it is an emergency. It doesn't mean that the climate change is going to happen next year. It's not an emergency in that sense. But if we are going to reach the Paris Agreement targets, then the scale of the changes that we would need to make mean that it's an emergency in terms of acting quickly.
If we haven't hit net zero emissions by 2050, there's a good chance of very bad things happening, like losing the world's ice sheets. So maybe it is worth getting arrested for. The emergency that Extinction Rebellion are calling is justified by the science of climate change, but the speed at which they're asking society to transform itself and get off fossil fuels means they are going to meet some stiff resistance. Essentially, what the protesters want is a change in virtually every aspect of the modern economy. They might be rational demands, but are they realistic?
It's going to be quite difficult to get to net zero even by 2050. That's going to require many tens, hundreds of billions of pounds of investment and quite a lot of disruption as we change the way we heat our houses, change the way we drive our cars. You can do that in a 30-year period. You simply cannot do it in any sensible way over 5 years.
By calling for change too quickly and too forcefully, Extinction Rebellion risk alienating the majority. But the climate emergency is real, and the longer society takes to accept it, the more difficult and expensive it will be to avoid. Tom Clark, News at 10.